Got that? Thumbs up. We're good. You got that. All right, now. Paul says, hey, Timothy, the things you've heard from me, I've taught you this and that and that and this. I've taught you doctrine. I've taught you how to live right. I've taught you how you're supposed to behave yourself in church and in the house of God. I've taught you all these different things, this long list of different things and doctrines. I've taught that to you. I've given that to you. And I want you to give it to faithful men. Now, so Timothy's going to go out and pick some faithful men. All right, pick some faithful men. You. Come on, you with the Jesus on your t-shirt. Come on. All right. Now, Paul's going to go ahead and step up here. So Timothy's job is to take what Paul has taught him, and now what? Okay, here's his job, is to teach this gentleman. All right? So it says here, maybe you missed it, okay? Look at verse, verse number 2 says, it says, "And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who should be able to teach others also." So again, verse 2 says, okay, this is Paul. Paul says, I have taught you, Timothy. I have given you things. I have instructed you. I have passed some things down to you. All right, he's given them what? The gospel. What does the gospel mean, right? The gospel is the what? It's Jesus' death, it's Jesus' burial, and it is Jesus' resurrection for our opportunity of salvation. Amen? Without Jesus' death, without Jesus' burial, and without Jesus' resurrection, there is no hope of salvation. Bye-bye. We are going to hell. No hope. There's no chance of salvation. But because Jesus died, because Jesus was buried, because Jesus rose again, hallelujah, I can be saved and go to heaven someday. Amen. You can be excited that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life in heaven. You don't have to face the judgment and the punishment of sin forever and ever and ever. Wow. Why? Because of the gospel. And so Paul taught Timothy the gospel. And so you go back to the book of Acts and you'll find that Paul meets his family and Paul begins preaching, and Paul met a young man named Timothy in the book of Acts. And Timothy starts following Paul. And while they're on their journeys and while they're in their travels, Paul's like, okay, you're following me along, and you think he neglected him? No. The whole time Timothy was following Paul, Paul was teaching and teaching and teaching and instructing and teaching. Why? Because he knew someday that Timothy would need to step it up and develop. Because someday Paul will be gone. Fact. 2 Timothy is the epistle that tells us that Paul is nigh unto his death. Paul is in prison. Paul's about to lose his head for the cause of Christ. And Paul knows his day of death is approaching. Paul knows that. So Paul says, I am almost finished. It is now your turn. So now, Timothy, you step up. All right, now you step up. Paul told Timothy, I've taught you. Remember, I taught you this and that and that and this. I taught you it all. Remember, I taught you. I want you now to get this gentleman, again, find a faithful man as was instructed, and teach him. So now Timothy is teaching and teaching and teaching. Why? Well, the verse isn't finished. It says, verse 2 again, it says, the things which thou hast committed to faithful men who, faithful men, who shall, future, be able to teach others also. All right? Now, I need you to go and find a faithful man. You need somebody that you can teach. You need to go find someone that you can teach. All right? Just pick out a man that you can teach. Here's an awful sinner that needs saved right there. Pick that guy right there. He really needs it. Amen. Dear God, finally, Scott Crabtree is coming for salvation. Yes, it's a miracle. This morning, he's been picking on me. Now it's my turn. Time to get even. Luckily, he's not speaking this week, so he doesn't have the platform opportunity to get me back. The train is gone. Anyway, so here we go. So now, back to the message to understand. Paul, he taught Timothy. He said, hey, Timothy, I want you to find someone. And Timothy did. And I want you to teach him. And Timothy does. And teach him. And teach him. Teach him, okay? And now this gentleman that Timothy found comes to another man and teaches him. As I was thinking about this message, something came to my mind in another situation, another place that has the same concept. I want you to take your Bible and turn to Matthew chapter 28. All right, Matthew chapter number 28. All right, you sit down because you're too tall. All right, you can sit down right now. Matthew chapter 28. Matthew 28, verses 19 and 20. Matthew 28, verses 19 and 20. All right? Oh, yeah, famous passage. Many of us are familiar with this. We're like, oh, yeah, I know this passage. This is a familiar passage. Now, I want you to sign it with me now. Okay, here we go. Ready? Go ye, therefore, and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Verse 20, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. So Jesus tells his disciples, remember the cross, Jesus, he told his disciples, go, teach all nations, salvation, the message of salvation, baptize in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And then, all right, you're done. Is that what he says? You're done. Take time off. No. Verse 20 continues the thought of teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded. So that means Jesus, as he was teaching the disciples, again, we'll let Paul, get Paul back in this game, let Paul represent the disciples. Jesus is teaching the disciples, telling them to go, teach all nations, baptizing the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And now you're going to witness, so he goes and he witnesses, and soon he gets saved. And then, okay, that's it. My work is finished. He's going to heaven. I can take time off. I'm done. Is that right? Is that what he's saying? Is that the end of the story? No. The work is not finished. Your job is not done. Now the work is to teach him, to observe all things that have been commanded. Jesus has given his disciples the commandment. Now the disciples give him. Why? So that he can teach him. What for? So that he can teach him. Why? So that whoever it is can find somebody and teach, and teach, and teach, and teach, and teach, and teach. You and I are here today because of one main reason. Somebody taught somebody, taught somebody, taught somebody, taught somebody, and they taught, and they taught, and they taught, and they taught, and we are here today. That's why we're here. That's why we are here today. Someone came to me and taught me. When I was 8 years old, my mama was a Jehovah's Witness. Not saved. My family moved to a new apartment. A lady who was the manager of the building was talking to my mom. And they began to converse and chat. 4 months later, this apartment manager began to go from chatting to witnessing and witnessing. And finally, my mom got saved.
Amen.
And when mom got saved, she took me and my brother to church. And on and on it went. And one day, the pastor of the church came to visit my mom. My mom was away at work. She was out selling Tupperware. The pastor came and met Dad for the first time. Began to talk to him and witness to him, and my dad got saved. And our family was changed. I am here today because of one main reason, because somebody taught somebody that taught me. And so now, the attitude of, I'm done, I'm going to heaven, I'm lackadaisical, I'm good to go. No. Just because I'm here at First Baptist Church, and I'm the deaf pastor here at First Baptist Church, that's the reason why. Is that the reason why? No. The reason why we should all do this is not because I'm a pastor, it's because I'm a Christian, because I'm saved. As Christians today, and many of you stood up a while ago, your pastors, your deaf leaders at the start of the service, and evangelists and different leadership roles. They're responsible too, but this is for everybody. Those of you that did not stand up, it's your responsibility too. Everyone that is a Christian, it is your responsibility to go and to win someone and then to leave them? No, but to teach them. Develop them, train them, so that they might go and find another one and win them and teach them. And then they might go and win another one and teach them, and on it goes. This week, the main message, the main point of this week is that you and me are to go and win people. Yes, but we're not to leave them saved. Next year, why don't you go home this next year and win someone and bring them to Georgia for DBFA next year? You can do it. Did you understand what I said? Some of you looking around like, this man is speaking strangely today. Yes, I'm speaking strangely. That is true. Yes. Why not you and me this coming year, that I'm going to go, I'm going to win someone, I'm going to teach that one person, and then bring them with me to Georgia. Where's Bruce Kelly at? There he is, Bruce Kelly, right there. Bruce Kelly, next year, DBFA, at his church, he's hosting it. Why not you and me win someone, teach them, develop them in the Lord, and then say, hey, by the way, I'm going to this meeting in Georgia. There'll be lots of deaf people gathered there together, and I would like for you to come. I want you to make Bruce Kelly. Let's all make Bruce Kelly have to find a bigger place to have this meeting. Let's pack it out. Let's have Bruce Kelly almost stressed out. Oh my goodness, there's too many deaf people. What am I going to do? Let's do that. We can't? Are we saying we can't? Oh, we can't. We can't. Oh no. Yes, you can. We can do this. And I challenge you this week, decide that you're going to win people to Christ, but not just win them and leave them. Your job and my job is not just to win people to Christ only. No. You win him and teaches him. He wins him and teaches him. And then he goes and wins him and teaches him. And then he goes and wins him and teaches him. And on and on and on and on. And it goes and goes and goes. That is the Christian life. And that's what it's all about. You and me are supposed to win and teach. Teach, and teach. When you look through these workshops, right, for this week, we have workshops. And there's some workshops that are specifically there for all of you on how to teach because we want to teach you how to teach. We want everybody to be involved in this. Our pastor, Pastor Wilkerson, he has a group of men in the church that got together and they've worked together and they've written some materials up to help with discipleship. And our deaf use it in our deaf church. Brother Shutt, wow, I mean, he uses it really good to help teach and teach and teach. And I mean, it's just so we can continue this on, teach and teach and teach. David Garcia, he's not here. David Garcia, he's coming. Oh, there, he's all the way in the back. Yeah, bring him up here real quick. Tell Brother David Garcia to come up here. I'm going to show you what I mean. Y'all can be seated. Thank you, Brother Shutt. You stay. Nice to be seated. Thank you. This is David Garcia. He pastors the deaf people up north side of Chicago, not far from here. I mean, it's the very north side of Chicago. We're talking about way up north Chicago. That's where his church is. Maybe 45 minutes. Is that about how far? 45 minutes, an hour away from here? Yeah, that sounds about right. David Garcia said that's about right. So from our church to his church, maybe about an hour. He's on the north side of Chicago. We picked deaf people up, bringing from Chicago. But he also has deaf people from Chicago too. We pick up deaf people in Chicago. Now, Brother Shutt went to his church for 6 months. He went and went and went and went. Not for only 6 months. I went to his church, David Garcia's church, for one reason, and one reason alone. To teach David Garcia how to disciple people. 6 months. And his church people came, and Brother Shutt taught David Garcia and his people discipleship lessons and messages. He taught for 6 months. And they have 3 different levels of this. Level 1, level 2, level 3. And I want you to begin to envision and think, dream about teaching other deaf and growing the deaf. Look, our deaf churches are not busting at the seams. Right? Right? I went to the Barrage Range before. I was probably 17 at the time. First time I went. On the 35-year anniversary, I went there. And I remember thinking, wow, look at all these deaf people. Wow. And that was 1 week. There were maybe there was 2 or 3 weeks of Deaf Camp ahead back then. That was just 1 week. And I imagine having 2 or 3 weeks more. And I went that 1 week and saw many deaf people. I was like, wow, I was just amazed. I mean, my jaw just dropped in shock. Many deaf people. I went to High Street Baptist Church, Columbus, Ohio. And I learned to sign there. And we had a good group of deaf people there. And now Liberty Baptist Church. David Mason, I don't know if he's here yet. He'll be here this afternoon, okay, Brother Mason comes in. He pastors that church there in Columbus. And some of his members are here. Who's from Liberty Baptist Church? A few of you, 1, 2 of you, okay. And now Scott Crabtree pastors a church in Columbus also. And you got people here, just you and your family? Okay. All right. 3. All right. 3 are here from Columbus. That's great. We once a month get together. We used to, as in Dayton, Ohio, for a deaf fellowship. We used to. We get together, and I mean, there are probably 30, 40 deaf people gathered. And it's so much fun. I remember being a teenager, my friends, meeting new friends, meeting deaf friends. And one family had twins. The one boy was deaf, and then the girl that was hearing. The boy was real tall, and the girl was obviously short. And this guy, the guy had brown hair, and the girl had blonde hair, and they were twins. I remember them meeting them and having fun, and a lot of the memories there. But I travel today. My wife is deaf. Okay, where's a church with an interpreter? Where there is a deaf church? Where is there? And we look, and you know what? It's hard to find. Most of the times when I travel, I'm interpreting for my wife in the preaching services. And now my daughter, she's a teenager. She helps out. She sounds good. And she interprets for songs. And then at preaching time, I'll interpret for my wife when we're traveling. And we sit in the back of the church, and my wife will sit in the middle. My daughter will interpret the songs on one side. And then when it's my turn for the preaching, I'll sign the preaching on the other side of my wife. And that's what we have to do in travel. Why? Because it's just churches with deaf ministries, they're not out there. You know, right now, we, not you, we have failed. We have failed. We have got to accept responsibility that we have failed. We have to accept responsibility. We have got to teach the deaf. Fred Adams was talking about his college today. He should have 30 or 40 deaf students in his college, easily. Reggie Rempel, his college. He should have 30 or 40 deaf in his college, training for the ministry. Hyles Anderson College used to have a deaf ministry. They used to come here and our deaf training, and they should come, but that's dwindled down, dwindled. Why? Is it because the teens? No, we failed. We failed. I mean, who's next? Who are we going to teach next? Understand this. Come up here, Pastor Crabtree. We got him. Remember while we taught him. Well, that's great. I went to church. But we failed to teach him to go. He didn't go. We taught him some things, but he stayed. He didn't go. He stayed. He didn't go find somebody to teach. And so the church struggles. Some people come to church and show up and he teaches them, but they don't go. And so it dwindles and dwindles and dwindles and dwindles to where soon it's non-existent. There is no more deaf ministry, no more deaf church. Now what do we do? Where are the deaf going to go when they die? Huh? Seriously, come on. This week, I want you to think seriously about becoming a person who desires to teach another person. Not just witness. Look. We've got to witness. That is vital. That is so important. Get them saved. That's wonderful. But get them saved and be done? No. We've got to get them saved. That is correct. But now we've got to teach. Where's sign in? Oh, my daughter, my kids. She's 14. She's 14. If you want to know what John Cooper's personality is like, you go talk to my daughter and you'll find out. We're very similar personality. People that know her know me, know her. I mean, they say, wow, the personalities are very, very similar, very identical. She's mischievous, I'm telling you, man. Whoa, what? I mean, she's trouble. Now, you know why she's trouble and likes mischief? You know why she gets into mischief? Because of mom. That's right, mom. No. Because I'm like that. Because I have picked on her through the years, and I like to pick on her and mess with her and all that stuff. And now she's picking on me back. And we go back and forth now. Because I taught her that. You know, little baby's born, you just leave the little baby. No. You teach and teach. I remember my daughter being born, and we taught her and taught her and taught her and taught her as she's growing and growing and growing and growing. Ask yourself today, I ask myself too, who am I teaching? Who am I teaching? Right now, who am I teaching? Who am I training? Who am I teaching? Oh boy, I'm thinking. Then guess what? We need to fix it. We've got to fix that. Amen? Amen? Let's all stand.